It's official, Thomas Tuchel is the next England manager, and it's safe to say that this hasn't exactly gone down too well with certain sections of the media, journalism, and the England fan base. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Yes, today's video is going to centre around the official confirmation that this man right here, Thomas Tuchel, has officially been named the next England manager. The German boss will take over the Three Lions on January the 1st of 2025. That is when the official reign of Thomas Tuchel will officially begin. And it's safe to say that certain sections of the English media, certain sections of English journalism, and certain sections of the English fan base have completely lost their minds over this appointment. We're going to be talking about the English national team, we're going to be talking about Tuchel here, and we're going to be talking about the way that the media and certain fans have covered this big news story. But without further ado, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section as well. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down there. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever else you want to call it, will make for great and interesting reading, I'm sure, down below. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people, and talk to me on this big news story. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk the English national team, Thomas Tuchel, and the disgraceful coverage by the English media. Now, it was stated yesterday by a lot of outlets that Tuchel was in advanced talks with the FA over becoming the England manager. This seemed to move very quickly, and it seems that today it's been officially confirmed that obviously everything is in order. He will take charge on January the 1st. But actually, it's been stated that he actually signed the contract last week, a couple of days before England's defeat to Greece in the UEFA Nations League game. Like, I still can't believe that's even a competition, or if you can even call it that, to be honest. Glorified friendly tournament, I guess you could say. Anyway, enough of that. But yes, it did seem like things moved very, very quickly on this, but it seems that this was already premeditated and was actually done several days in advance before the official announcement earlier on this morning. What I find incredible about this is the way that the English media have covered it. It's been incredible, and not for all the good reasons. They haven't exactly covered themselves in any kind of glory in certain sections of the media, that is. I'm not saying everybody, I'm not saying every journalist, and I'm not saying every English fan. I'm just saying certain sections of all three of those sort of groups haven't exactly covered themselves in much glory over the way that this story's been covered. God forbid a German takes charge of the English national team. Now, as I said in my video talking about this yesterday, I've somewhat held the belief that an English team should have an English manager, the same way that I believe an Argentinian team should have an Argentinian manager, a Spanish team should have a Spanish manager, and so on and so forth. But even though I've had that belief for a while, I've since not only abandoned that belief, but I was never prepared to die on that hill. I was never prepared to see a foreign manager of the English national team and throw my toys out the pram and go crazy and go like, I'm not watching this again, this is disgraceful, this is horrible, what are we doing, this is a dark day for English football. Never was going to be like that. I'd just be like, okay, it's not exactly what I believe in, but at the same time, we'll see how he does. Was he the best candidate for the job? In this case, in this scenario, Thomas Tuchel was the best fit for the job. Tell me who else would be great. If you're going down the English route, an Eddie Howe, a Graham Potter. I mentioned them again yesterday. Graham Potter and Eddie Howe would have probably been my choices for England managers, but Eddie Howe probably is doing a lot of things with Newcastle that he probably wants to try and finish, so that's probably going to be something that maybe in the pipeline somewhere down the line, but not for the here and now. And Graham Potter, it would be a gamble, but I felt like with the way that he plays his football, I thought it might have actually been a decent fit for him and for England. But they have gone down the route of a German manager. And like I say, this has left people going crazy. Some say that Some are of the opinion that it should be an English manager, and that they are going crazy about this, and they're like, I want an English manager to lead me into battle and all that stuff. Would you be saying the same if this was Pep Guardiola walking through the door? Would you? Would you really? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. But the strange thing is that, yes, Thomas Tuchel will probably never be as successful as a Pep Guardiola, but he's still pretty successful. He has still won things wherever he has gone. He is still a manager that won the German Cup with Borussia Dortmund. He is still a manager that won everything there was to win in France with PSG and also got them to a Champions League final. He's also a man that won the Champions League a year after that failure with PSG, may I add, with Chelsea, a Chelsea team that weren't favourites to win that competition that year, and he still managed to get them to the final and win that final against none other than Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. He then, several months later, managed to take Chelsea to become Super Cup winners and also Club World Cup winners. He made them Club World Champions. He also then went on to Bayern Munich and he won the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. This guy wins things wherever he goes. Can you say the same about any of the other candidates that were supposedly in the frame to become manager of this England national team? And I mean the realistic ones. I highly doubt Pep Guardiola was ever going to manage the English national team. He'd be managing the Spanish one before this. Hell, he'd probably be even managing the Australian national team before this one. I highly doubt. That may actually be a bit of a far-fetched, but you get my point. I highly doubt Pep Guardiola was actually ever going to be managing this team. And you wouldn't be saying, I want an English person to lead me into battle if obviously Guardiola walked through the door. But all of a sudden, because it's a foreigner and because he's German as well, to add insult to injury to the people that are salty and hurt by this, suddenly everybody is throwing their toys out the pram. This is the article that has been doing the rounds today. This has been the main one. There's been quite a few that I've seen, but this is the main one that I've seen. A dark day for English football. This is coming from the Daily Mail, the sports section of Daily Mail. Three Lions gamble on a German, but Tuchel only has 18 months to prove he's up to it. The article goes on to state about how Gareth Southgate may not have been everybody's cup of tea, but you know, he went into tournaments with a lot of hope and a lot of expectation. He gave them some sort of identity, especially on the international stage. Again, restoring that to England's honour, I guess you could say. And then goes on to talk about Thomas Tuchel, how Lee Carsley wasn't exactly the right fit for the job, and then comparing him to the likes of Sven-Göran Eriksson and Fabio Capello, the recent foreign managers of the English national team, and then goes on to actually say Pep Guardiola they would have made an exception for, but for whatever reason, now that we've got a German in charge, we're not going to do that. And then the ending is beautiful. The ending is incredible. It goes on to say, this is a dark day for English football. We are the laughing stock of the world game. I'm sorry, but if hiring a Champions League manager and a serial winner of a few league titles and a few cups and things here and there makes us the laughing stock of the world game, I don't know what won't. I really don't know what won't make us that. How is that? How did that article even get passed through? Like, yeah, that's fine, and we can print that. How? Explain it to me. It makes no sense. This is the guy who wins things wherever he goes. This is a guy who is the best candidate for the role. Just because of his nationality shouldn't discriminate him from the job at hand. It makes no sense to me whatsoever that article was printed, And a lot of people have jumped on board with it. Certain English fans in the comments and around certain social media sites are agreeing with this. They're saying this is a dark day for English football. I'm sorry, but a dark day for English football for me would be, not qualifying for the European Championships in 2008. Dark day for English football would be, maybe losing to Iceland in embarrassing fashion in Euro 2016. Not getting out of the group stages in any of those competitions from 2014, 2016. I would say they're dark days for English football, in which we had English coaches that didn't do anything. I would say that having boring football with Gareth Southgate, with a squad that is teeming and oozing with attacking talent, with skill and flair, and you can make it so balanced that you can mind the defensive side whilst also bombing forward and putting teams to the sword, and not using that to its fullest potential, is probably a dark day for English football. This guy, Thomas Tuchel, right here, is an improvement on Gareth Southgate. He's an upgrade on Gareth Southgate. And yet the English media, certain journalists that are pinpointing the fact of his nationality, and certain fans are not happy about this overall managerial appointment. I don't get it whatsoever. And again, I will reiterate this point. If this was Pep Guardiola, everyone would be cheering and singing from the rooftops. But because it's Thomas Tuchel, because it's a German, really irritates them. I thought they would have liked it. I thought the most hardcore of English fan would have been like, we're going to get a German to win us the World Cup. The irony in that. From both sides a little bit, really. But I thought people would have liked it. But apparently it's rubbed people up the wrong way. And like I say, things like that article and things like what I've seen from other journalists that are printing stuff about his personal life and things of that nature and where he's been previously. Let's just have a quick look at where he's been previously. A Borussia Dortmund side that obviously were in the aftermath of a Jurgen Klopp. A PSG side in which he took them to a Champions League final and was very close to maybe obtaining the one trophy that they desire the most. They desire the most. And, by the way, he was obviously a part of a model that they've since ditched. They wanted, the superstars, the megastars, the Galacticos of, a Messi, Neymar, Mbappe kind of front three, and just to name a few. They've since ditched that method and tried to actually build a team, which kind of proves that it wasn't his fault that they failed. It was the club. A Chelsea side in which he got them to win the Champions League, and then when he did get fired, they admitted that they were kind of wrong in doing that. A Bayern Munich side who have many, many issues as to why his final season with the German club was a failure. Not necessarily down to him, although he's not entirely blameless, but at the same time, there were a lot of problems in backroom-wise, in power, behind closed doors, behind the scenes. Not just his fault. I don't get why certain sections of the media are like this. I don't get why certain sections of the fan base are like this. I don't get why certain journalists are behaving in this way. But all I know is that if England even taste the slightest bit of success, if any of those people come out and start celebrating, they're wrong to. They are hypocrites, they are wrong to, and they shouldn't be doing it. This guy can give us success. I don't necessarily think it may be on a World Cup level. I don't necessarily think football will be coming home on that level. But you know what? If Southgate can get this really deep national pool full of talent and quality and potential to a European Championship final, there's no doubt in my mind that this guy can't be the guy to get us across that finish line. No doubt in my mind. Some may argue about his tactics and his pragmatism. Like, fine, you can argue about that, and if you don't like him because of that, I can understand your argument. It may not be a style that's fit for you. But if you're arguing about his nationality and things of that nature, you're just an idiot when you don't take into consideration what this guy has done across Europe, what this guy has done in terms of win silverware, and why this guy was the best fit. Not just for England, but in terms of the candidates that were seemingly on the table, he was probably the best fit. And I think what the English media are doing is an absolute disgrace and absolutely horrible. Probably if I was him, I'd probably run, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm now a little bit more interested in international and English football than I have been, so the major tournaments are going to intrigue me a little bit more so than what they usually do. If obviously we manage to qualify, this could absolutely blow up in our faces, couldn't it? But no, I don't think that will be the case. I think Tuchel is a really good fit, and I think that with his style of play, with the squad and the deep national pool that we have, I think this could be a really good fit for the Three Lions in the end. So, looking forward to this one. Interested to see how Tuchel does, but yes, the English media definitely need to clean their act up. These are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Thomas Tuchel being officially made the England national team manager for the men's game? Starting, of course, on the beginning of 2025. January the 1st, mark your calendars. That will be the official day that he takes charge. I want to know what you guys think and feel. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, will make for great interest in reading, I'm sure, down below. So please do leave a comment down below. Use and abuse that section. People would love to hear from you all on that. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will soon speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you again very, very soon.